and welcome back to a brand new episode of Ram Talk. Today I'm joined with my co-host,
Kanari! And without further ado, let's welcome our special guest.
Well, let's welcome our guest, senior Jaydin Dearco, who is being nominated for his excellence in the classroom and also the extracurricular activities, including bands and also TV club. Thank you for joining me today, Jaydin.
Great to be here, JL. Thank you.
And I'm also joined by special guest co-host Kanari Thatch. Great to have both of you here today.
I'm happy to be here. Okay, so Jaydin, the first question that we have is to take us through your senior year and explain to us what it's like being a senior.
So, in terms of being a senior, I mean, my school year has been much like everyone else's. We're certainly all stunned that we'll be starting the entire year, going through the whole year actually online. But what made it really difficult, especially as being a senior, of course, you miss out on a whole bunch of things. Prom or senior trips, class events, the senior prank. We're really looking forward to doing that. And these are all things that we had to forfeit. And being a part of the band, no more football games, no more competitions, drama club too, no more plays, no more morning news every morning. And those are all things that I kind of missed. And last year when I was a junior, didn't realize it would be my last. Didn't realize I would be making, memories. I was just having fun. And to know that all ended so abruptly, it's kind of surreal. But being a senior now, it's kind of a sigh of relief because, year's over. This is it, last year. And it's off to life.
Right. Honestly, having this remote setting, learning in this remote setting, kind of limited the fun things about being a senior. And I definitely feel bad that seniors weren't really able to experience what an actual senior year should feel like. So, yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about your instrumental talents. What instrument do you play? And also, when did you first learn how to play?
So the instruments that I first learned how to play, the instrument was in 5th grade. And that was the flute, which I still have to this day. It's over 7 years old now. And in the 5th grade, started learning how to play the flute, and I continued band all the way through middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. And it wasn't until my sophomore year, my band director was asking around anyone that would like to transfer, go to brass. I thought to myself, I guess it'll be cool. So I tried my hand at the French horn, and anyone that's a musician knows that the partials, that's like the way that you have to kind of adjust your lip to actually make the sound go through the instrument. They're very small, and it's a very difficult instrument to play. So kind of gave up at that. Then I decided to go for the euphonium, and it was really easy. And I started playing that up until now, senior year. Unfortunately, I'm not in the band anymore, but that was the last instrument that I played. And sure had a great time doing that.
It's very interesting. I actually started playing the flute as well when I was.
I remember you. Yep, you were
really
Mr. Roski's flute lesson class at Callahan.
Yep.
Yep. Well, we used to practice literally in the basement, a little hole in the wall.
Oh, I
remember.
Well, of course, with the school band comes the Friday night football games, as you mentioned. Over the past 4 years, what are your fondest memories of performing at halftime?
Oh, those are some of the best memories I ever had in high school was the Friday night football games. Of course, not all the stuff I could really get into, but just to give you an idea. The most memorable of which I would say was my freshman year. Being the new kid on the block, the new kid, freshman in band, myself and the other underclassmen with me. It was great because it was really exciting. It was this new thing, marching out into the field. Everyone's looking at you. And what's so unique about the marching band compared to sports is that, unlike in football, if you miss that kick, or if you miss that yard line, or if you miss that pass, or if you fumble the ball, it's okay. You could just pick it up and you could try it again over and over and over again until you score. But in band, if you miss that F sharp, or if that E was sharp when it should have been flat, or if that B was natural when it should have been flat, or if you missed that step, or if you missed that march off, that's it. You only get one chance. So band really, helped us tone down the sense of coordination, teamwork, and perfection. That's really unique that sports really couldn't do. And not only that, but just the friends and just the experiences that we made along the way. And we just had a blast. It was a lot of fun, It's kind of brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it. And such a shame that it was all cut short, So yeah, we had amazing. I couldn't reiterate that enough.
Yeah, it's definitely been sad, the fact that all seniors for the past, I want to say a year and a half to 2 years, they've all had their senior year cut short, and it's just
Right.
sad of how much stuff that you guys miss.
Well, that's sad, but it's okay. Life goes on. High school is just really a small stepping stone in your life when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. My grandparents graduated high school over 40 something odd years ago. Do they remember everyone that they talked to in high school? No. Do they remember everything they did in high school? No. Just one of those things that helped shape the person who you are. And thankful for those experiences that you have.
I just wanted to say, like, you all did such an amazing job. Like when you performed at halftime, like you guys always did an incredible job. I film like the football games sometimes since I work for LETV, and I was always impressed by the performance. So
Well,
yeah.
that's how we do it. Thank you. That's how we do it. Thank you. Means a lot.
And also I need to ask you, I have heard that you can fly a plane. Is this true?
That is right. So if I reach into my wallet here, I have my student pilot certificate. And what that means is that I'm a student pilot. So this summer in July, I'll be starting out as a aviation science major at Bridgewater State. And that's where I'll be taking some of my preliminary flight training. In addition to what I've already done before in the past, in relation to last summer and last fall, and just be continuing that. So it's a really long journey, a long process to become a commercial pilot, and ultimately that's what I want to be, to fly for the airlines. And JetBlue has always been my main goal. So yeah, I started flying my first plane when I was 15. So started flying before I even got behind the wheel to a car. Wow. So it's really great. It's a really nice accomplishment, and just the career itself is very rewarding. When people ask me why I like to fly, I always tell them this: you have a mile of highway, one flat mile of road. Well, that's only going to take you 1 mile, but when you have a mile of runway, 5,280 feet, well, that can take you anywhere in the world, and that's what flying is really all about. And I just can't wait to make that my career.
Wow, that's just incredible. Honestly, I really don't know any high schooler that actually can fly a plane. So just knowing that you're looking into such a unique career at this point, like this is just such an amazing thing that you're doing, especially so young. So that's very, very impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Get a little thrill in your stomach.
You mentioned that you were going to Jordan State next year. That means you are going to college.
That's right.
I wanted to know where you see yourself in 10 years if you weren't going to work for JetBlue.
Well, honestly, in 10 years, and my answer to that is, who could really tell? The only thing I know is that ever since I was in 8th grade, I made a plan for myself of what my ambitions and what my career goals would be after high school. And of course, ever since 8th grade, I made a plan to go to Bridgewater State, be there for 4 years. After those 4 years, I graduate, and that's going to be entered into the JetBlue Gateway program. Then after that, I would be a pilot at Cape Air for 2 years until I received an upgrade to captain. Then I'll gradually gain my flight hours from 250, starting as a commercial pilot, and working all the way up to 1,200 flight hours, where I'd be eligible for something called a restricted ATP, which an ATP certificate is necessary to become a commercial pilot. And after those 2 years at Cape Air, you can then interview for a job at JetBlue. Then after that, through the next 3 years, you would be starting out as a first officer in the right seat at JetBlue. So hopefully the next 10 years, I'll see myself as flying for someone. Be it JetBlue, be it Cape Air, be it Delta, be it American, whatever it is. I just hope to still have a foothold in my career in aviation. That's really where I see myself in 10 years. And whatever it is, as long as I'm happy, it's all that matters.
You have an amazing future planned out. I could never think that far ahead.
Yeah, and you have great potential for that success in the future, to be honest. And it's just great that you have like at least like a plan, kind of, obviously things are going to change here and there, but you have goals, which is super, super important to have, for sure.
What
Yep.
made you choose aviation?
So, and I mentioned before, but really, what really sparked my interest in aviation started ever since for as long as I remember, actually, ever since I was 3 years old. I remember my grandfather and I, we would watch documentaries on Xfinity and whatnot, and National Geographic, about these big giant, wide body aircrafts. And I remember when I was younger, my grandfather and my dad, they used to take me over to the airport, and there's this nice little park in Revere, right next to East Boston. You have a perfect view of the runway. I remember there I was, 4 years old, still a tiny little thing. And my dad said, "Jaydin, look up." And I looked up, heard this big, loud noise, this big, loud, giant roar. And it was the biggest thing you'd ever see. I thought it was a metal bird. That's what it looked like to me. It's this big, giant metal machine with huge wings and 4 engines, 2 on either side, just flying over you. And you could just feel the power of the wind, everything, You just hear the noise, the sound, and it looks so majestic, just flying overhead, just suspended upon nothing. It's amazing what those machines can do. Amazing how they're so big and so powerful, yet they can fly and defy gravity. And aviation, really, it's not just about flying, it's about connecting the world. Much of the commerce, much of travel is all done by aviation today. It's all about connecting the world together. And like I said before, a mile of runway, and that can take you absolutely anywhere you want in the globe. That's what's the amazing thing about flying.
That's incredible. On the other hand, you are also widely known in the school community for your appearances on the morning news at school. What would you like to say to all of your fans out there? And before you do answer that question, I just wanted to say, you honestly inspired me to become a news anchor, on the morning news, because, during my freshman year, at least in the beginning, I always saw you in the morning news, and I was like, maybe I kind of want to do that a little bit because, it looks fun. And you were always such a fun person to see on the morning news. And also this kind of makes me think back to the time where, before I did join the morning news, when I used to be in the drama club, one day I asked you, how do you join the morning news? And then you were just like, just walk into Ms. Dean's room. And I was like, just walk in? And you were like, yep, just walk in. And when I walked in, honestly, my life changed, because if you never told me that, I probably wouldn't have even been here right now. So honestly, thank you so much for that.
Geez, Joe, you're making me blush now. Wow. You realize that much impact. But yeah, and it's definitely impressive to see, how far you came along, between when you first started there as a freshman, and now here you are. Now you're interviewing me.
And honestly, that was all thanks to you, because everyone knows you as such how can I say this,
You're
such
very
a
enthusiastic.
great enthusiasm, such a great personality to see on the morning news. Everyone always looked forward to seeing you in the morning news, so you're always going to be remembered, for sure.
That's right, thank you. And one of the things I always try to do is try to maintain an impact and always try to be a positive influence. if I could make people laugh by, being goofy on the morning news, and so be it. If it brightens up people's day and it gives them a highlight, some gives them something to laugh about at the end of the day, then so be it. I know I would have done my job. And, I'm glad the morning news actually, gave me a chance to express that part of myself. Since then, of course, like you said, it's made me, kind of infamous in the school community. The biggest of which being my new nickname, Obama Kid, Obama 2.0. That even follows me at work. All the old ladies I work with, they say, "Oh, Obama Jr., Obama Jr." That's still what I go by to this day. It's even on my band jacket too. There it is, Obama 2.0, stitched in there. But what I'd like to say to my fans, I guess, going back to the original question, is thanks for watching. Hope to see you again next time. And thanks for watching. That's it. It was a blast, and couldn't really have done it without them. And thankful to TV Club and Miss Dean, all those nice people I met along the way. And if I was ever given the opportunity to, do it all again as a freshman, I would. No questions asked. Had a blast doing it. Full lot of fun.
That's awesome. And this is actually the final question. And this is actually a question that I always ask every senior that comes on the show. Can you describe your senior year in just 3 words?
Oof. Oh, that's a tough one. I would say a complete disaster. That's what it was. Disaster. Complete disaster. None of us knew what was going on. I didn't know what I was doing half the time. Teachers didn't know how to unmute themselves half the time. Didn't realize that they weren't sharing their screen.
Yep.
Wi-Fi was bugging out. Laptop was dying. It was just disaster. It was just very hectic. But hope I'll never have to do it again, though. Hopefully, if we're fortunate. But I am, of course, at least glad that I had those last 3 years of high school that I actually got to experience, which really highlights the importance of these, be it high school, whatever experience we may have in our life. You don't know that you're having fun. Doesn't seem like you're having fun in the moment. When you look back, start to reminisce, and you just become thankful for those experiences that you had. And that's how I feel about high school. Didn't seem like fun to me, going to a math class. So how much I hated it, now I kind of miss it now.
Yeah.
But all those fond memories are just add to our, back burner in life. And we look back, try to figure out what it all meant, and we're thankful for how it shaped us as a person today. That's all it is.
Awesome. Well, this is the end of the interview. It has been honestly an absolute pleasure having you here today. And honestly, for me, it has been an amazing experience, working alongside you on the morning news, during freshman year. But best wishes on your continued success in the future.
And likewise. And enjoy your senior year.
Thank
it was
you.
a lot better than mine. And thank you all. Thank you for having me. And that's it for your morning news. Have a great day, everybody.
All right.
Remember, we value rigor, accountability, making connections, and
success. Yep.
Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that is all for today.
And we'll see you guys in next week's episode of Ram Talk.